This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
A special edition of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now Sports Podcast. I am Kyle Chinen, joining you from the Digital Center, as always, with Davis Pitner, and we enjoyed it so much.
Yes.
We had to bring him back.
Again.
We had to bring him back.
I'm
Drew
back.
Davis,
I'm back,
first
everybody.
Alert Meteorologist.
This is a first alert right here.
It's a
This is
first
a
alert
first alert.
sports day.
It's
Oh,
First Alert Sports
it
Day. It's a
is.
first alert a lot of things today, honestly,
Yes.
but
It's
we
been
have
quite the
to-
day, yeah.
we didn't want to take too much out of your time. We know you got to do the
Oh, yeah.
news, but we didn't want to shake up your schedule.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Today,
Oh, Kyle. Well, it's
If you-
already getting started.
if you
We're not
guys
even 30
are
seconds
keeping
in.
up with the news, yeah.
there was an earthquake today,
Yeah.
and so that explains, if you're watching on YouTube, why I'm in a suit and not in a
Yeah.
Aloha shirt.
We have
I don't do the
exactly
news.
30 minutes.
We have a certain amount of time before Drew dissolves into the set, and we'll get back into that in a little bit. But yeah, it's a big game, I guess, coming up on
Oh
Sunday.
my gosh.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the season finale of football
Football, man.
this year.
The biggest
Super
game,
Bowl.
the biggest stage.
The biggest
game.
game, the biggest stage. That is, of course, where our other partner, Sienna,
Yes.
is. The three of us are very jealous that she gets to be in Vegas for this special week. She's already been sending videos and whatnot
Yeah.
of meeting Patrick Mahomes.
That's cool. I'm super excited. I'm super stoked
That
for
was
her.
so
Did
crazy.
she get to meet Travis Kelce?
No, so
No.
she texted me saying that the media swarm that surrounded Travis Kelce during Chiefs media availability was just too much. Like
Oh.
they couldn't get anywhere close to him with the amount of media that was there to talk to him. So she had to settle for Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
I guess,
Yeah, that's settling for sure.
Which is so crazy. Like, I wonder if it just deals. I mean, I'm going to start off right with it. Taylor Swift. Like, is it because of Taylor Swift? Is that why everyone's going surrounding
one-
Travis? Like,
It's gotta be.
wouldn't it be usually
100%.
the quarterback that, everyone kind of goes around, Patrick?
You guys remember what I said when I came?
Oh,
here
yeah,
last
yeah,
time?
there it
yeah.
is.
All roads lead back to Taylor Swift. I'm
Replay
excited to
that
see
clip.
what happens and how many times she's on the screen on
I
Sunday.
know.
I know
Oh,
people
yeah.
are betting on that, like how many times
Oh,
she's going
right.
to show
Oh,
up,
right.
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
over/under.
And then
I
there's
could
the
see
oth-
that as a drinking game.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a great drinking game. And then the bet whether or not Travis is gonna propose at the end of the
Oh
game
my
if they
God.
win.
I think I
So
don't
many-
think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
No.
It's
I don't
it's a
think
little
so.
far fetched.
People are like, he gives her the Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, no
like,
thanks.
Do they get the Super Bowl ring like
No.
that day?
No,
I was
they
like, oh, They get it
don't.
later.
That's what Taylor Swift fans are hoping for. I'm like, all right, you guys clearly have not
the,
seen
the
football.
Swifties
You
are
guys-
learning. Okay, they're trying to figure this out. They're learning about football.
It's a
their
new
first season.
experience.
It is their first season.
It's their first season.
I love seeing the memes where it's just like, I've been a fan of, like, no offense, I've been a fan of the Dallas Cowboys my entire life. The Swifties just got into football this season, and their team's already in the Super Bowl.
Okay, so I have a theory with this.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
okay, all
okay.
right.
I've told Davis about this.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm starting to buy into the script a little bit.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
I know I talked about it last time, but I feel like if I was Roger Goodell and I was making this script for NFL, bringing in all these new fans, bringing in the Swifties to the NFL community, give them the taste of greatness. Get them all the way to the
Okay.
Super Bowl and rip it away at the last second. You're hooked. You're hooked. You're going to stay. Taylor, even if Taylor leaves Travis, I feel like you might still be a fan of the team, fan of the game. So
Right.
you're going to want your team to continue.
I kind of like that theory.
I like it too.
But I mean, the NFL scriptwriters just does not like any of our teams because none of our teams are in the big game.
Oh yeah.
No.
No Dallas Cowboys, no Seattle Seahawks, and no Los Angeles Rams. But at least you guys made the playoffs. I mean,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Rip Seahawks. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, no Pete there.
No Pete, new head
no Pete.
coach. I personally don't think Geno is our answer anymore. Won comeback player of the year 2 years
No.
ago. Good for him. Love Geno. But we need new blood, and that's kind of the direction they're
Yeah.
going in. But let's not talk about the has-beens.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the right nows, and that is these two quarterbacks in
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy. And I'm going to go off a little stat sheet here,
Whoa,
Davis, that
hey,
has
Kyle.
graciously provided for
The
us.
stats.
You know, Brock Purdy is pretty good. You know,
Oh, I was waiting
308
for that.
completions on 444 attempts for 4,280 yards, 31 touchdowns, and he's also rushed for 144 yards. And on the opposite end, we have our boy, the one and only Patty Mahomes. Love him or hate him, you still watch. 401 completions on 597 attempts for 4,183 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 389 rushing yards. So if you look at the comparison here, Brock Purdy has slinged it a little bit more than Patrick Mahomes did this season.
I think a big difference too, looking at all these, and I mean, Fantasy Pros, I don't know if you guys go on it. That's where I look at a lot of matchups for my fantasy team. You can put like two players side by side. And so I was looking at the matchup between Purdy and also Mahomes, and they actually had Purdy higher than Mahomes, which was a little surprising. Looking at these stats, though, one of the biggest things I think is just the rushing yards. I mean, obviously Mahomes is known for being a dual threat quarterback that's able to move, and it kind of proves that on the stat sheet, 389 rushing yards. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think the Niners defense, they're going to have to be able to control Mahomes if they're going to win this game.
I mean, yeah, exactly. The thing is, too, is like with Mahomes, he doesn't need to use his legs, but when he has to, he will. And with like just kind of the way the season and his offensive weapons have been this year, he's needed to use it a lot more. But I don't know, man. Whenever they go into the postseason, they just turn something on that like
I don't know what it is. I picked the Chiefs going all the way. Back when we did our like station-wide like brackets, I had Chiefs Cowboys, but that didn't end up. that didn't end up happening.
Highly optimistic
Highly
bracket.
optimistic, but realistic too, because the Chiefs, like I feel like they do just turn something on. And Mahomes, I don't feel like Purdy's got the rushing ability like Mahomes does, you know. But I don't know. Well, who do you guys think is gonna win? Have we already done that, or is that later in the show?
Ooh.
We'll get your pick,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we made our picks before Sienna left for Vegas,
Okay.
and I went with the Chiefs. I just can't see a world where you put Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl and he doesn't perform. Maybe the last, or when they played the Bucs, they didn't really perform in that Super Bowl. But you know, you get him in a Super Bowl, and I feel like this season in particular, they have the most to prove as far as like the naysayers and obviously the Swiftie haters and like all that. You know, they really want to shut all that down and win another title and go back to back. So that's something I think you can't ignore. So that's why I took the Chiefs. Sienna took the Chiefs. She's a diehard fan, but similar reasoning. And Davis?
I mean, I had to go with the Niners because I didn't want, 3 Chiefs, picks in the room. And then also, I mean, I was going for the Niners. My dad is from the Bay, and so he's always been a Niners fan. So out of these two teams, I'm like, all right, might as well support the team that my dad's going for. And also, I mean, I like the Niners, California team, as a inner Californian myself. And I don't know. It's tough to say. Part of me, like, I want the Niners to win, but then there's that other part, too, where you're kind of nervous, like, they've done this before. Mahomes has done this before. Kelsey, I mean, for some reason, something just triggers them to play at a whole other level when they reach this time of the year. So, I don't know. I think the Niners are going to put up a fight. I think they have the offensive weapons. I mean, you have Debo, you have
Christian McCaffrey,
Kittle.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys on that team that are good. It's just the big question, can they keep up with the momentum that Mahomes is going to be creating?
Right.
I think I'm. So your pick is the 49ers?
My pick is the Niners.
Okay.
Yeah, my
Davis,
pick's the Niners.
I'm right there with you. I'm gonna
Yes.
pick the Niners as well. I think
All
that kind
right.
of ties in.
Thank you.
Ties into my theory a little bit, but I don't know if I'm just picking off of believing in the script, but
Believing in the script.
I
yeah.
just, in all good conscience, as a Seattle Seahawks fan, pick the 49ers after they after we have to see them twice a year in the NFC West. So I don't necessarily like the Niners. Sorry, Niners fan. I know there's a lot of y'all out there, but I will never support you guys in a Super Bowl.
dang.
Because
Dang, that
if
was
you guys are in there, the Seattle Seahawks are not. So that's just
fair
about
enough.
it.
Fair enough point.
I just have to point that out. But
Yeah.
a lot of red in this Super Bowl. So
It's a lot of red.
we went over the uniforms. So these are the uniforms that they're gonna go with this year. Home reds for the Chiefs and away whites for the Niners.
Hasn't the team that's worn the white
the away
white
team
jersey,
Yeah.
has
the away
won
team?
historically has been the victor. in a
Yeah.
lot
That's
of
why I'm
senses.
slightly optimistic about
Yeah. I wish they were the
But-
throwbacks, so I love those 49er throwbacks. I will say.
it. Yeah.
Those are sick. And speaking of red, there's a local team that also wears
nice
red.
transition, Kyle.
Perfect
Thank
transition.
you.
Wow.
Oh, yes. I'm talking about the Lahaina Luna. Luna's the football team that was able to play this season. I've followed these guys extensively since the tragic fires in Lahaina back in August, and they got a standing ovation. They're in Vegas all week. They were at the NFL Honors the other night, and they got a standing ovation from the crowd. There you see coaches Dean Ricard, Coach Tejada, the AD, and a bunch of players that made the trip out there. And for the NFL to do this, they just aired that special on from NFL Films the other month, and that was super cool to see. It was kind of crazy because those NFL Film guys were there when I was there filming my coverage of them
that's
for
right.
for the station. And I remember seeing this gigantic camera setup, and I was like, "Who y'all with? You're not from not to sound rude,
Yeah.
but you guys aren't. This isn't our usual setup." And they're like, "Oh yeah, we're the NFL Films." I'm like, "Oh."
Once you start seeing the fancy cameras, that's how you know it's a big
When they have
big
different,
company.
when they don't have to adjust the tripod legs yourself to get different angles, and they just have different tripods for different heights, that's when I was like, "Oh, you guys are different than me."
Yeah.
And I'm over there with my single camera, one man banding it, and there's 5 guys, but turned out great. And they're also gonna stick around for the game. They're gonna be at the Super Bowl. They're going to be honorary captains for the coin toss. So catch that on KGMB during right before kickoff of the Super Bowl. So that's going to be super cool, and what a great opportunity for these kids and the coaches.
What a special moment. I mean, you keep going through all the stories and everything that happened over there and the tragedy that all of them faced, and this is such a special moment. What a great thing for the NFL to do for these guys who lost everything. I mean this is something that I'm sure they need, and something all of Maui needs too. It's something that will hopefully help the healing. I mean, it's just overall what a great thing to have happen for these guys, and such a big moment.
I think it's especially powerful seeing everybody give a standing ovation. For
Right.
them.
Yeah.
So this video that's been playing with them standing up has been awesome. Seeing all the players, it's just a cool moment for the team.
Absolutely. And I mean, you want to talk about successful though. They had they didn't start till maybe a month before their first game. All these hurdles and obstacles. They went 5-0 on Maui, and their only loss of the season was in the state tournament in the opening rounds. And they barely, they just lost to Kapa'a. So, I mean, what a great whoa, I'm losing my voice a little bit, but what a great season for the Lunas, and I can't wait to cover them next season, and I can't wait. Hopefully I get to go over there and talk to them again, because I love all the coaches. The coaches and the players are all super awesome, and hanging out with them, they're the greatest. So, shout out to you guys, and be on
Big
the
shout
lookout.
out. It's going to be cool to see it during the game.
1:30 KGMB on our station, guys.
Should be good. You and I will be here. Wait, Drew, are you here too?
No, I'm off Sunday.
Oh, you're off
should
Sunday.
just come over
I think
and
you should just
hang.
come and
You know,
hang out
maybe
with Kyle.
Maybe I will.
Come hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
bring the fam.
Spend your off time to come back here at work.
Yeah.
my girlfriend and I were just kind of chilling. We're making queso and just watching the
Wow.
game. You know, it's just.
You can have queso here.
I was
could
gonna
have
say,
queso here.
we're doing a potluck.
Yeah.
All the Sunday
doing a
warriors that are
potluck.
coming into
But
work.
I'll be lucky with my pot of queso on my couch.
That's true.
That's-
Oh,
yeah,
that didn't
that's
land
true.
like I wanted it to. I thought you guys were gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so creative."
That is a good one.
That was pretty good. That was
I
pretty
like
good.
it. I like it.
I can dig it.
Lucky.
Drew's only been on the show twice, so like,
I know.
he
And
needs-
I can't, not everybody has the great transition skill like Kyle. You know.
Davis.
That's
oh,
true.
Davis. Davis
That's
is
true.
the king.
I only have it occasionally. Kyle is the real one who, is always good.
No. Not today. I'm being fueled by coffee, in the afternoon. I won't put a timestamp on this
Yeah.
recording, but
Well,
in it's afternoon time.
I think it's always a sure bet that you're going to be always
Oh.
getting it right. And talking about bets, everyone, talking about bets, we got to talk about Super Bowl betting. And it's in Vegas. You already know in Vegas, gambling is crazy. And with the Super Bowl over there, it's just getting crazier. Bettors are predicted to risk an estimated $23.1 billion
All right.
this year, which is projected to be 35% higher than
Good
previously.
Lord.
The previous
Whoa.
record was $16 billion. Sports betting is illegal in 38 states plus Washington, D.C. So
You know what? It's not legal in Texas.
it's
Really?
not
Yeah.
really.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
I knew
That's
it wasn't
interesting.
legal here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people go to Vegas.
Yep.
They head over to the Ninth Island.
The Ninth Island. That's why it's
They go to that's a big thing too. I even when we went 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah.
3 years ago for our work trip to Vegas, sports books are like popping up at like almost every hotel. They have big screens and like the comfy chairs to do like just like that video right there that was shown. Like they can just chill, watch the game, and spend money. But I do want to say, please bet responsibly and
Make good choices.
Make good
Make good
choices. Have fun.
choices.
But
Make
yes,
good choices.
gamble responsibly, especially if you're over on the Ninth Island.
I wish I was there in Vegas. I've actually never been. I've never been.
Really?
You've never been to Vegas.
No. I want to go.
Let's just
Do an
you know what?
overtime trip.
An overtime trip. Yes.
Oh, HNN Overtime goes to Vegas a week after the Super Bowl.
Oh.
Just to see what it's like.
Just to see what the aftermath of
the
it.
aftermath of the Super Bowl.
I think we'll pitch that to management.
Yeah, I think
think-
we'll have to.
I think, man, we'll circle back to that. But speaking of circles
Oh my
and
gosh.
spherical objects, I am on one today. We have to talk about the Sphere in Las Vegas. Working in collaboration with the NFL, the Sphere will display content including a countdown clock leading up to kickoff on Sunday, a welcome visual that will serve as a beacon for the hundreds of thousands of people expected to descend on the Ninth Island, and key graphics highlighting the matchup between the Chiefs and the Niners. In celebration of Super Bowl history, the Sphere will also showcase all 57 Super Bowl rings. That's cool.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
every single ring. I mean, just this shot alone. I just
That's
like what
sick.
they did with the helmets. Like, look
Oh,
at that
that's so
transition
sick.
between the Niners to the Chiefs helmets. I think that in itself, I mean,
I think that's the
pretty
thing
cool.
I'm most excited to see in Vegas.
is the Sphere.
that's
I
what I'm
just-
saying. That's what I'm excited about too.
You know what's been? I really like the yellow face.
Yeah.
Like the yellow face that pops up with the emoji
yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a really funny post the other day. It was talking about like each different decade, like from the 70s, has like a cartoon character or something that's the color yellow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so like 70s, you've got Woodstock from like Charlie Brown, Snoopy.
Yeah.
80s, I can't remember the 80s, but the 90s is like Bart Simpson. The 2000s is SpongeBob. 2010s is the Minions. 2020s, I think it's the Sphere.
The Sphere.
The emoji face on the Sphere.
Yes.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
I honestly, the one thing I am jealous of, and I know Davis is as well, is Steve and Casey got to hang out at the Sphere the other day during their coverage.
I saw that.
They were doing look lives in front of the Sphere and just making it look so cool.
I've been jealous of everything that they're doing. Just this morning, Lynn Kawano texts me. She sends me a picture of Panera Bread. And she's like, we're having this every single day. I'm like, what the heck, Lynn? Like, why are you sending me that? Like, I love Panera Bread.
You're sending that. Panera Bread.
Oh, my gosh.
Do we have them here?
We do not have Panera Bread.
Have Panera Breads here.
We don't have Chipotle here
either. Let's break it down for you, Drew. Here's what Vegas has and what we don't have.
Okay.
We don't have Panera Bread. We don't have In-N-Out. We don't have Chipotle. We don't have Shake Shack. Another one that just opened in Las Vegas, I saw a story about it, Whataburger. I know as a Texas boy.
I love Whataburger.
They just opened a Whataburger in Vegas.
Wow. I've never been to a Whataburger.
Me neither. I've been to
that
Louisiana and
That was the first
Texas.
thing I did when I went home over Christmas, when I got to
Whataburger.
You got to win a Whataburger.
My parents were like, you want to go to Whataburger? They were driving me home from the airport. I was like, of course.
So like they're known for like patty melts, right? Like not
patty melts, burgers, fries.
Okay.
It's like Texas's version of In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
But like
it's
not as good as In-N-Out. People like to claim.
Wow.
Like, oh my gosh, it's
a hot take right there.
It's like it's so much better. It's like it takes longer. The food's not as good, you know.
Interesting.
You know, you go to a Whataburger to hang out after the football game.
There you go.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
Another one we don't have. Well, technically we do, but it's on Maui. We don't have Sonic Drive-In.
Sure.
And like we only just got Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A here. So
Yeah.
Those are like
very new.
Very, very new.
New location for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're slowly growing. I think there's like 3 now.
There's one in Ala Moana,
Britannia, and Kapolei.
I think Kapolei just opened.
I was about to say Kapolei just got one. But then Raising Cane's, I remember Raising Cane's wasn't here in Hawaii when I went to college. And then there was one in Omaha, Nebraska that we would drive from our college town an hour and a half just to get Raising Cane's, because this was the newest thing to me.
Oh yeah.
I had never experienced the chicken fingers and cane sauce before in my life. And then I was like, wait, this is actually really good.
When I discovered it, they built one in high school. I was in 9th grade, and I was like world changing. I was like, I gotta go all the time, get the cane sauce. And like the lines wrapped around.
Yes,
you're like,
I remember when the first ones here opened up. And then I remember my parents were like, oh, when you come back, we have to try this new place, Cane's. And I'm like, Mom, Dad, I'll drive in 2 hours round trip to go to get those chicken fingers. So it's funny because like the airport that all of us would like fly in and out of if we're leaving Iowa or the Midwest was in Omaha. So all of a sudden, everybody was so open to be like, hey, yeah, I'll take you to the airport. Like, don't worry, we got you. So then all of a sudden it went from the driver and whoever needed to ride to the airport, and then the back seat was full of just the boys.
The boys who wanted to go to Cane's.
So then either we left super early so the guy who needed to make his flight could come with us, or we drop him off and then we go to Cane's. So like it was a whole excursion. So Raising Cane's was a big part of my college life, and so
I'm glad it's here now. I'm glad it's here.
I'm so glad it's here.
Good.
How did we get on this?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter.
What are we even
it doesn't matter. We're talking about food, talking about Super Bowl, talking about everything under the sun. And speaking of sun, suns are hot. You know what else is hot? Fire.
What is it, Kyle?
Fire? Fireballs. Fireball Whiskey releases a lipstick inspired by Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, just released a lipstick inspired by the celebrity couple. I should have read this beforehand, folks. But it's a bright red color called Cinnamon Delight.
I don't know why I put this VO in there. I don't know
It's
why
all
I put
good.
this story.
I think it's
I saw Taylor Swift and I'm like, copy paste.
It's a good segue to the Taylor Swift section where we talk
that's a
about
valid
Taylor
That's
point.
true.
Yeah.
Swift. Yeah.
That's like her iconic look, right? Is the red
I
lipstick.
think it is the bright red.
Yeah.
I think it is the bright red.
Everybody's been talking about this Taylor Swift girl. Who is she?
Oh, okay, true. I mean, you could have played that the first time you were on.
Yeah.
But this is the second time, and people who have seen that episode already know. You're well versed in the Swiftie.
Am I well versed?
Well versed
I
in
think
the
so.
Swiftie
Do you
universe.
think I'm a member of the Tortured Poets department?
Oh.
that's the album it's called.
That's the new album. Yeah.
the Tortured Poets Department? Also, I will say, not the coolest of moves to announce your new album when you're accepting a Grammy. Like, just say thank you, congrats to the other nominees, and move on. Shout out the Chiefs, like something like that. I don't know. Am I wrong?
It's
for
a little
thinking that?
weird. Yeah.
Like, I just don't.
I mean, you're right, but like, I don't want to say anything, and then we get like emails from Swifties.
From the Swifties.
From the Swifties.
Don't come for us. We are a pro Swiftie show.
Are we?
We are.
I
I
mean,
think we've ran like
We've ran so many
like
Swiftie stories.
50 Taylor Swift
Swiftie
stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50.
The one thing
50
about
Swifties.
this, the one thing about the Fireball whiskey thing, was that the shade sells for $13.87
Oh,
in honor of their numbers.
Oh.
To say that.
that's
Do
crazy.
you think they're making a profit on it then?
I don't know how expensive
Probably could sell it
lipstick
for $87.13.
That's
and
true.
people would still buy it.
I
That
think
is
they
very
would still
true.
buy it. Yeah.
is. I don't know, because I mean, none of us wear
Really
lipstick, so I don't
wear,
know
yeah.
what the going
So,
rate for lipstick
You're right.
is.
That's true.
Like, I'm not. I don't know if 13.
I don't know what the market price
Yeah.
is.
I don't
right
know
now.
what the margins
I don't know
are.
if that's
I'm like-
high or low. See, this is like.
This is when we need Sienna.
Yeah, Sienna would know.
Yeah.
Like,
See, this would have been the perfect story for when Sienna
yeah,
was here.
that's true. And I mean, like, you're married and you have a girlfriend, but like, I'm sure you guys don't like talk market price of.
No, that's
lipstick.
casual morning conversation. What's the going rate for a
What's the going
for a
rate?
tube of lipstick?
I
Is that what
know.
you call them? Tubes?
Is it a tube? Is it a
I don't even
stick
know.
of lipstick? A lipstick.
I'm always
stick?
I always have to go to Sephora with the wife, and I'm always on my phone. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm always surprised by all the weird names
Yeah.
of all the different brands.
I do want to go to something that we've been talking about Taylor Swift. but,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know how Taylor Swift's lucky number is 13?
Yeah.
Like she's got all these weird things where she was like, oh, every time I've won a Grammy, I've been in the 13th row.
Mhm.
My first album went whatever, gold, platinum,
Yeah.
double
Yeah,
platinum
I
Yeah.
heard that.
on
yeah.
the 13th or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Or she turned 13 on
Yeah.
lots
Yeah.
of 13s. You know who's also number 13?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
don't even get me. Have you seen all the conspiracy theories
Oh,
about
yeah.
this?
Dude, I sent
They're
them to you
like-
on Instagram.
Yeah, I kept. Well, I watched that and I'm like, I'm seeing this all over. There's like so many other reels too about
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Like, it's all conspiracy. Like, they're playing the 49ers. 4 + 9 is 13. It's like 13 hours to travel from
Tokyo
Tokyo
Vegas.
to
Yeah.
Vegas.
They're playing on February 11th,
11th.
which is 2/11.
2/11.
13.
2 + 11, 13. Yeah.
It's just too many.
Do you think if the Niners beat the Chiefs, 13 is no longer lucky for her?
I don't know. I think at
I
that
don't
point
know.
she'll just break up with him to keep her lucky number 13 good. Like, oh, this wasn't a part of that. Just to keep it her lucky number. But
Imagine the score of the game is like 13-10 or something. Like, what
Oh,
if the
if-
Chiefs score 13?
if the Chiefs only score 13 points and win the Super Bowl,
That's how you know like something's going on.
That's the worst outcome.
that would be the most boring Super Bowl.
It's 13-0, and that's the Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Oh
and then,
my
And then the
gosh.
Niners just somehow like get 9 points like off of the field goals, and you're just like, oh, 13-9, great. What a game. I highly doubt that though, but
yeah,
man, I would not enjoy that,
I wouldn't enjoy it either.
especially being at work and like doing our work potluck and like having to
Yeah.
watch 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt, 3 and out, punt. I need some scoring.
Need some scoring in there.
We're both offensive guys, so like we like scoring and we like run plays and we like good offense personally.
I never considered that the 13 could be a score, like that's going to happen now that we said it.
Yep.
I think it will. I'm sure the refs know that.
Because what is it? They only need to score 1 touchdown, kick an extra point, kick a field goal.
2 field goals.
And then 2 field goals?
Yeah.
No, that's all they need. Touchdown, 2 field goals.
That sounds awful.
That does sound awful. I would not wish that upon anyone.
No.
But saying that, that's like what scores in my conference look like sometimes when it got real cold. Like, you just scrape by and get what you can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the game is gonna be spicy.
I think it is going to be spicy, Kyle.
Yeah?
How spicy, Kyle?
I think it's gonna be Coca-Cola spiced spicy, guys.
Whoa.
Oh my
Check
goodness.
this
Wow,
out.
look at
Coca-Cola is making one of its latest specialty flavors permanent.
I don't know how I feel
Spiked
about it.
is a new soda that blends the taste of Coke with raspberry and spice flavors. Coke's vice president of marketing said the soda was selected because it's, quote, all about being on category trend and responsive to our customer preferences who are craving bolder flavors. The new drink will be available in both cans and various sizes of bottle. Coca-Cola Spice goes on sale February 19th in the U.S. and Canada.
So I included this story because, I mean, are you gonna drink a spicy Coca-Cola?
I've never heard of this, guys. This is the first time.
No thanks.
It's a little weird. This is the first spiced drink I think I've ever heard of. Like,
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
A spicy drink? Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
not to sound, I mean,
Isn't Coke like already kind of like, or like soda is kind of like spicy water with like
a
the
little bit of the
carbonation?
a little
carbonation.
bit, yeah.
I don't know what else they want from it. I mean, just give us raspberry Coke, right? Like, what makes it the spiced?
I don't know. I don't know what is making it spiced. I don't really know. I don't really want to know what it tastes like, honestly. I feel like that would ruin my my favoritism of Coca-Cola. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of
Like,
Coke.
are you a Coke or Pepsi guy?
I think more of a Pepsi, honestly.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, but I do like a cherry Coke though.
That is true.
A cherry Coke is good.
better than a cherry
Guys, I'm
Pepsi.
about to hit you with the best soda of all time.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
How could you guys leave that one
I
out?
can get down with
Really?
a Dr. Pepper. I
I
can
don't
get
know.
down.
Dr.
That's
Pepper.
a Texas specialty, right?
That
there.
is that a
Get down with a
Texas?
Dr.
I've been to
Pepper.
the Dr. Pepper Museum. They have one in Waco,
Really?
Texas.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you
Do you
ever
get like free Dr. Pepper at the end? Or
like is it a tasting test?
Oh yeah. They
That's
give you
actually really
old
cool.
timey, like where they like make the carbonated water first and then put the syrup in it.
See, that would be actually
Oh,
kind of
that's kinda
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I
I would
always
dig
see
that.
those TikToks of that old timey diner in like New York or something,
Yeah.
making the Coke, just
Yeah.
mixing
Mixing
in the
it
Coke.
up,
Mixing it.
you know?
So Dr. Pepper, Davis, what is we can broaden our, since we're on the topic of soda, we're gonna
Yes.
broaden our horizons here.
Okay.
Davis, what is your favorite soda or preferred soda? I want to open this up to.
McDonald's Sprite.
Oh.
The carbonation,
There's something
McDonald's
different
Sprite,
about- yeah.
There's something different, and I've looked it up. I think it's something to do with the carbonation that they do with their Sprites. It makes it like a little extra bubbly or
It does
fizzy.
hit.
Like,
does.
I don't know why. If I'm feeling tired, I'm not going for a Coke. I'm going to McDonald's and getting a Sprite. Long drive, that's how I stay awake.
That's a good answer.
Go to right there.
I know you said Dr. Pepper, but
Dr.
if
Pepper.
you did, is that your go-to favorite
Oh
of all
yeah.
time? Okay.
Probably either that or like a good classic root beer, you know?
Oh.
Okay.
You know?
I really
see
only
that.
have root beer with ice cream, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
with
like
you.
a root beer float.
That's
I
a-
really
I like a
Root beer float's good.
when I was younger, my mom every summer would buy me like a Costco pallet of like root beer bottles, and that was like my soda limit for the summer. And so like having like, I'm like, it's a hot day, you know, I'm out running around on my bike and stuff. I come in, I open up a root beer, you know, a good end of the day. Either that or Dr. Pepper, you know.
Kick your feet up, a good end
your
of the
feet
day.
up,
That's,
yeah.
that's the life,
Yeah,
man.
turn on baseball, watch
There you
the
go.
Rangers.
I will say, my childhood being here in Hawaii, I never really drank soda growing up. Like,
Interesting.
I was always a fruit punch or like the canned juice that we have here in Hawaii. That was my preferred drink of choice. It was really only until like maybe my senior year of high school to definitely into college because I really had no options. But it's when I really started drinking soda, which is kind of bonkers to me if I have to be honest. But I will say I do love Mountain Dew, but more specifically Mountain Dew Baja Blast from Taco Bell.
Aren't they making that like
Blast,
bottled
really?
now? Where you
They
can
do
get
it. They used to. Okay, this is a big boy moment right here. The fact that I know this information is crazy, but prior to this year, they were bottling and selling Baja Blast outside of Taco Bell on like a limited basis, like summertime here and there. But now I believe it's going to be a permanent option in like grocery stores, which I am excited for. But I still don't think it's the same as like rolling up to a Taco Bell asking for a large Baja Blast with your chicken quesadilla. Like I can't beat that.
You can't beat it. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? I gotta beat it because I gotta.
Real quick though, I know we kind of talked about it, but your pick for the Super Bowl, real quick.
Okay, so 49ers. I really think if you're gonna bring in all these new fans, you gotta give them a taste of greatness.
Oh wait. Let's go pick and score.
Oh yeah, pick and
Pick and score. What do you think the score is going to be?
49ers 17, Chiefs 10.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting.
A close one and a low-scoring game. Well, thank you, Drew Davis, for stopping by. He's got to go do the news now.
I gotta disappear.
Yeah.
Are we doing
All
the
right.
thing?
Yes,
Ready?
it will.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa, wait,
Whoa! Oh
What
my
just-
gosh.
dude! What just happened?
He's just too good. He's Mr. First Alert.
He is first alert right there.
That was a first alert move right there. But I will say, thanks again
That
for
was
Drew
pretty
Davis.
good. We'll
for
have to have
joining
him
us.
back on.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna be one of our reoccurring characters. For
I could
sure.
see it. I could see it.
I love having Drew on. But yeah, he gave us his pick for the Super Bowl and the score prediction. And I want to show this graphic. This was from last week's episode. This was our picks.
Look at that
obviously
graphic.
In the Super
Everyone,
Bowl theme.
Kyle Chinen with that graphic right there.
Oh, thanks,
Davis. That is good right there.
Davis is responsible for all of that cool intro that you see for the Super Bowl. That's all.
I
Davis
was
did
making
now.
that up. I really didn't know.
What?
I said I didn't really know what I was doing with that intro. It
Oh,
was just making it up as I went.
exactly, and that's the perfect thing, and it
Yeah.
came out great, dude.
So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Kyle.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Here you can see our picks from last week. Sienna going for the Chiefs, myself for the Chiefs, KC, Kyle Chinen, duh. No, I'm kidding. But and then Davis with the Niners. But we asked Drew the score prediction. So Davis, what is
Ooh.
your score prediction?
You know, asking Drew that, I was then thinking in my mind, I'm like, what would my score prediction be? It's tough. I mean, I really think it's going to be a close game. I mean, these
Yeah.
are two high-powered offenses that I'm sure are going to be going at it with each other. So I think it could be a high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
I almost want to go. Ooh, this is just so tough. I don't want to be. I don't want to be wrong here.
Uh-oh.
You know what? We're gonna go 28-31 Niners.
Okay. I was
Niners
actually
31-28.
It's actually funny that you say that because I was thinking 31-28 Chiefs.
Chiefs, really?
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting.
I obviously am taking the Chiefs.
It'll be a close game.
I just think I agree with you. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's also going to be a close game. It's not going to be – I feel like it won't be a blowout either way. But, yeah, that's the score prediction I'm going with. We'll also get Sienna's reaction and score prediction as well, and we'll post that graphic up later. But, man, this is going to be a fun one, Davis.
This is going to be a fun one. You and I are working. I know. I mean, it's going to be hard to work and also not get distracted
That's
by
true.
the game.
It's a good thing
Oh,
that
this
my
is
job is technically watching the game.
Yeah, your job is watching the game.
That's
yeah.
honestly one of the perks of doing sports reporting. It's just like oh, what did you do today? Oh, I just watched the Super Bowl with my friends, my buddies. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and we'll be here, and there's going to be a lot of coverage throughout the entire day. I know Sunrise weekends we'll be having special reports from our crews out there. I'll be on Sunrise mornings on Sunday to kind of preview the game. And then we have our regular newscasts, 5, 9, and 10. And then we also have a 6 p.m. newscast directly after the Super Bowl on KGMB. And just there's more.
There's more.
There's more.
Kyle's been working on a little something, haven't you?
Working
Kyle?
on a little.
Are you gonna get into a suit?
I got a suit, Davis.
Kyle's gonna be behind the desk, everyone.
Suit and tie. I'm gonna be in studio.
Suit and tie. Justin Timberlake.
Little Justin Timberlake. Suit and tie action. Yes, it's the Showdown in Vegas post game wrap at 9:30 on KGMB. Gonna lead right into our 10 o'clock. It's gonna be
exciting.
Everything Super Bowl related, NFL, anything under the sun. Really, it's my show.
You're running this show.
I'm running the show.
He's got the suit on.
With the help of Jessie, our amazing producer. She will be my producer as well. But it was funny. My initial instructions from our management was, hey, there is a slot from 9:30 to 10 that needs to be filled. It's all you. And I'm like,
it's all you.
Oh, okay. And then I started getting ideas. I didn't know what to do. Yada yada yada. Went to Men's Warehouse. I asked you, right? Like, hey, where did you get your suit for your wedding? And you're like, I rented it. But I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I should rent it.
We had to rent it. It was actually very easy to rent it. They have like this whole online thing, and everyone could like put in their sizes. So for the wedding, actually, it was very, very useful.
Very simple.
Very simple. Yeah.
Like just put in your sizes and your measurements, and you just go pick it up.
Yeah, and especially for the wedding too, because all the groomsmen they're all from different places, so all in California. So of course they couldn't get fitted here.
Right.
And so I created an account with Men's Warehouse, and then over in California, those Men's Warehouses, they were able to get the sizes, and then it goes like directly in the system.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
And then we could pick it up here.
Yeah.
So.
It was funny when I went to go buy the suit. This is a little behind the scenes knowledge. If you watch this episode and then you notice something on Sunday, this is why. So I found a jacket that fit off the rack, but the sleeves are just the slightest bit too long.
Okay. All right.
And I asked, hey, how long does it take to tailor this stuff? And they're like, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, I kind of need it next week. So that didn't happen. So if you notice that I'm like my arms are always going to be crossed or folded, that's kind of why I don't want to show off too much of the extra long suit jacket arms, but it'll be cool.
You're gonna look great. We're all looking forward to it.
Never worn a suit before on camera.
Pretty good.
I graduated, went to prom, all that, but still, this is a big step.
It is a big step.
I'm grown up.
Yeah. You're a grown up behind the desk. You're running the show.
Running the show.
Any sneak peeks for listener viewers? What can they expect?
They can expect highlights from the game, more info from our guys on the ground, Steve, Casey, Lynn Kawano. Like those guys will be part of the show. Got some fun things lined up as far as Lahaina Luna and just talking in general about Hawaii players in the NFL this season. So it'll be fun. It'll be great. It'll be a great time. Promise.
Side tangent.
Yeah.
Steve and Casey.
Yeah.
Let me just say how jealous I've been of them.
Yeah.
This entire time. I think I was watching our sunrise show today. Literally their first sunrise hit, they're eating like breakfast together. They had the camera set up. If any of you guys didn't see it, they had the camera set up and they're eating like pancakes and like food like right there while they're doing their live hit. I'm like, what is this like? Are they even working? Is what are they doing over here?
I'm just super jealous about the food part because I mean they're having the time of their lives and I couldn't be more happy for them, but also too jealous as ever that they get to run around and have fun in Vegas. But and they've everyone out there, Sienna, Lynn, Casey, Steve.
Oh yeah.
One of our photographers, Peter. they've been putting out really amazing stories.
They
and
have,
so
yeah.
much great stuff. And hey, we've been on work trips, and we know how much that can be.
A lot of work goes into it.
A lot of work,
that's for sure.
behind the scenes, but they've been doing an amazing job. But we are jealous that they got to eat on camera. And
I think it's time for us to go on another road trip,
I
Kyle.
think it's time for another Kyle Davis trip.
I think it's time. That's what the people want.
It's the last time was for the men's national championship, men's volleyball national championship.
Volleyball.
In your backyard in LA.
That was a good trip.
That was a good trip.
Hollywood sign,
Hollywood sign,
waffles,
Walk
burrito,
of
lots
Fame.
of breakfast burritos.
We ate a lot of breakfast burritos.
That was a
in
lot of
California.
breakfast burritos.
A lot of Chick-fil-A, a lot of In-N-Out.
All that good stuff.
Santa Monica Pier. What else did we do?
There really wasn't any reason for us to go to Santa Monica
There
Pier,
really wasn't.
But it was such a cool shot.
It was like, there's a breakfast spot in Santa Monica. Our sunrise hits will be on the pier, just cause. But it was cool to see the pier.
Oh, it was really cool. It was
I've never
awesome.
been. That was the first time.
Yeah.
I've never been to the pier.
It was an awesome live shot, actually.
It was. I
Yeah.
think, guys, Davis doesn't. I just need to give Davis his flowers right now.
What?
When he's my photographer on these live hits or on these road trips, he makes these shots look so incredible. He did Santa Monica Pier, the Hollywood sign. He found this is locals only spot to get a perfect view of the Hollywood sign with little to no foot traffic. It was so amazing.
That was a good angle of the Hollywood sign. You never can tell. Sometimes it gets a little cloudy up there, but that day that we went, that was like a really nice day.
It was a pretty day, and like it was funny because like I posted a full body picture. Like, you took a picture of me, and like I think more people were shocked, not because we were in LA at the Hollywood sign. They were more shocked that I was wearing jeans.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause, like,
same.
Everybody knows this is another behind the scenes. Most times I'm just wearing like shorts to work.
Oh yeah.
Y'all don't need to see my legs in camera, so I'm just wearing shorts. But like the fact that everybody was so almost up in arms, like, what? You're wearing jeans? Jeans? Like, guys, it's a bit chilly. It was like 60 degrees in California that week.
It was a little cold.
It was a little cold for May, but yeah, Davis is a wizard
thank you, Kyle.
on the computer when it comes to editing and doing the podcasts. But he's also a wizard behind the camera, folks.
Wow.
Don't ever let him tell you otherwise.
Well, thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that.
Of course, dude. I have to give you your flowers.
That was nice.
I have to give you your flowers.
Especially since Valentine's Day is
It
around the
is.
corner. Maybe we should do
a Valentine's Day episode.
Valentine's? Oh, get hearts in here.
Yes.
That'd be pretty good.
We grab like angel wings and a halo.
Little angel wings.
And the little bow and arrow. I think
this is what happens.
This is what happens.
Once Kyle and I start going, we just keep going.
We don't stop.
Start brainstorming for the next episode.
Yeah,
so
y'all better stay tuned.
Yeah,
but
stay tuned. Watch the follow the Instagram, of course.
Follow the Instagram. Follow along online, and I think since we're talking about that, I think this is where we leave it off.
This is a good episode.
This is a good episode.
We'll have to see what happens in the Super Bowl.
We will have to recap next week when our crew returns. We will hear from them, obviously. But again, thank you so much for listening or watching to this episode of HNN Overtime. To watch or listen, to listen to any of our other episodes, you can head to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get the rest of our HNN podcasts. And for the video version, that's on the HNN YouTube channel. And like we said, follow HNN Overtime on Instagram, no spaces. For Davis Pitner, I'm Kyle Chinen. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.